Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Journey. Today's video, we're going to be looking at the Dream Realm, but before we get into it, I want to take a look at Odie's skin. Now, if you're unfamiliar or if you missed the event, we do have From the Shadows that is going on right now for another 2 weeks, and you can get Odie's exclusive skin. This, of course, is the Desert Ranger. It is awesome looking in here. Going through and just doing your regular things, doing one regular pull, logging in every day and collecting the favors out of here, you can absolutely earn this skin. Now, of course, if you have Odie built, they're giving you a ton of a ton of resources, or essentially a ton of points towards getting the skin itself. And I'll take a look at it in just a minute. But once you go through here, as you can see, I don't like doing the Arcade Labyrinth. I've actually been neglecting it for a considerable amount of time. I need to hop in there. I need to do the summons to build it up a little bit further with the summons itself. Now, when it comes to the skin, looking at Odie, this is the classic one. So looking at the very traditional, very classic skin that we see, you can see it is ultra basic. There is no camouflage. There's no really war paint. There's not much going on in there. But look at the depth of the heroes that we have in AFK Journey. This is, of course, one of the big reasons why I love playing this game. The heroes, the storyline, everything is pretty impressive. Now, when we get into the skin, you can see we have the battle paint kind of right across his face. We have the whole laid out with the armor, and everything changes in here, making the skins very unique. And you want to make sure that you do not miss these at all. And of course, when it comes to this season, when it comes to Odie in general, he is absolutely one of the #1 priority heroes to build within AFK Journey. And of course, we already do have him at Supreme Plus. We almost have that 15 signature item. Also getting some of the Duro's Trials, starting to get some of these right on him, some of the magic charms on him. And ultimately, once we get him built up a little bit further, the damage that he deals is going to be amplified. And of course, a lot of players that have him built up quite a bit are seeing a really, really strong, solid built hero, which of course translates into damage within the Dream Realm. Now, as you can see, we're in the top 7.5 right now, and I'm going to go through the formations in here. A lot of players question the formations, and I'm going to share 2 in here. Now, one of those, unfortunately, doesn't work unless you actually do have a specific hero built. So looking in here, and for this one, I'm actually going to go with, and I think I'm going to go with the Crescent spell. This one, of course, doing a little bit more damage. But looking at my formation, we are running Odie, Smokey and Mirky right up in front, which of course is already at Supreme Plus, starting to get the signature item built a little bit further. This is going to be the hero that is going to take a lot of our damage. Then we do have right to the right side of that is Marilee. Marilee, of course, Supreme Plus, really does a ton of physical damage, has a lot of movement with the positioning, and as you can see, starting to build a lot more charms on this hero. Then right behind there, we do have Rainier. Now, unfortunately, with Rainier, we do not have this ability, the very last ability. Getting him up to Mythic Plus has been incredibly difficult, especially if you are free to play. If you're not putting a lot of money into AFK Journey, it's incredibly hard and near impossible to build your Celestials and our Hypos. We know it's going to reset in a couple more days to get some more stones. Hopefully, we can get lucky and we can build up Rainier a little bit further. Now, right behind that, of course, is the man of the hour, which is Odie. Odie already at 3 stars, almost at 4 stars, starting to build and get copies of him, trying to get his Paragon level actually built up. To get that, I actually need 25 copies of Odie, which of course in itself is a feat because that is a ton of copies of one specific hero to build. Then of course we're trying to level up the magical charms as well. And then the final one we look at is Coco, again having him, or her, excuse me, at Supreme Plus, getting it built out and making sure, again, in this one, you do have to run 2 defensive heroes because the Skyclops will do kind of a laser beam and it will take you out in your entirety. It'll kill your entire party. This is a very solid build I want to see. And I know we did the Alpha Bear yesterday. Really, the overalling effect in here and the arcing effect, you can go in here, you can tweak a couple things and just do better and better in this formation, which of course is going to yield you more loot. Now, we went through here and we get, I believe it is 9 attacks as we sit right now, but getting those 9 attacks really make a big difference. Now, one thing to note is with the artifact that we currently have, is if the ads pop up when the artifact triggers, it does AoE damage, which means we can get back to doing more damage on the Skyclops a lot faster because of the AoE ability looking like Goku in the back. The AoE ability that he does throw, and he throws that magical orb right there in the middle. Again, this is a formation that I've kind of been tweaking back and forth. I feel like if I have my heroes built up just a little bit further, and right there, we dropped the artifact ability. It killed all 4 of those little bats, which means we get right back to really turning on the damage much higher in this boss. And I think this is going to be probably a new high score in here. There we go. So total damage getting up there. We're at 74, 75%. Still got 17 seconds left though. Let's see if we can catch fire here and hit that 80%. Maybe we are over 80%. There we go. So we broke the 80% mark. That is really what I was trying to do, is get this as high as possible. Boom, 0 seconds left, 2.8 billion damage in there. So definitely doing a lot of damage. And of course, that takes us to the 80% mark, taking me to 195. Now, I know it's early in the day, but now we're at 197. I feel like we can get a little bit more if we could push the envelope with this hero, or with this boss, and ultimately getting more levels. So a lot of players were kind of questioning, you know, going up to 240. Now we're at 250. 2 more levels here and we'll be 250 plus. I have to go in here and also do my Dura's trials as we continue making progression. Now, you'll also note that when it comes to the Legends trial, we were capped at 40. So if you remember, these were all at 40. We actually pushed the Maulers to 48. We have the ability to now push these towers much further, which I think it might be 48 might be the new cap. But also we have the rate up hero that is going to be coming. That is right. Ulsa's rate up, as you can see, we did get 8 of 8 copies of Ulsa. Chances remaining right here, we already have them all. We have her at Supreme, which means we don't get any more. Now, this rate up does carry over, which again, I think remaining chances at 0 mean that we're not going to be able to, or if we continue to pull, we're not going to get any more copies of her. But as you can see, we have 21 hours that are left on the rate up, which means we have a new hero that is going to be coming. That is right. It should be Soren for the next rate up. We've seen a little bit of a blurb about it a little bit earlier, but Soren should be the new hero who is going to drop in here, which means looking in here at the wish list, we are going to see Elsa that is going to be available to essentially summon in here. Now, as you look at my wish list right now, we have Corinne in here, we have Marilee, we have Odie, we do have Smokey. All of those are still built in here and they are currently at their max level because we do want to build them up a little bit further. And of course, getting additional copies of them are going to amplify the stats that they possess if we get the Paragon levels for them. And of course, it's going to pop up with the warning. Now, Epic Recruit, I'm going to wait to see exactly what we get because if I can put some different heroes in here, I feel like I really need to. Also looking at a couple, like one that I really want to focus on, and I'm going to drop Rowan out of here, is Cassidy. Now, we want to talk about Cassidy for just a moment because when we look at the best in slot for some of the Dream Realm, Cassidy is the hero that I feel like a lot of players underestimate, including myself, because when it comes to building her out, she has really 2 big defensive things or really offensive things that make it is the temporary buff that she can provide with the Tidal Blessing, which is the reason why you have to have her at Mythic Plus, and you also do have to have the signature item or the exclusive item built out for her to maximize the damage on your team. And again, a lot of players are running Cassidy as a best in slot team when it comes to the Dream Realm. Then, of course, the Supreme Plus reduces the magical defense of enemies hit by Running Tide by 20%. That is right, a 20% magic defense reduction, which we know going hand in hand, and a lot of people don't realize that Odie is magical damage. That's right, even though he's a marksman, he has magical damage, meaning that looking at the build and looking at the combination of having Cassidy in there, Cassidy is not only going to provide a big buff that goes on your heroes, but you're also going to see a magic debuff, meaning that these heroes that are casting magic like Odie are going to do exponentially more damage within the game mode, meaning that you're going to, again, do a lot more damage. Now, I've been farming a lot of the Dura's trials and getting in and quick socketing these. I need to get them higher, and for that, I have to push my AFK levels, which we're at 375 right now, so definitely need some more progression in there. So, all right, guys, but that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.